Well, hello everybody, and welcome back from your Thanksgiving holiday. We are now starting with Chapter 5 for Course 1, and we're going to start by talking about multiplying fractions. Okay, and so I've got a couple guests that are going to be here helping me out, but let's go ahead and go to the first screen, and let's get started. All right, now, when we're multiplying fractions, as we talked about in class, it's actually a lot simpler than dividing fractions. So when we're multiplying fractions, all we have to do, if we're taking fractions like 3/5 times 1/2, is the rule is we're going to multiply the tops together, so 3 times 1, and we're going to multiply the bottoms together, 5 times 2. So no finding common denominators. 3 times 1, of course, is 3, and 5 times 2 is 10. Oop, that didn't quite come out right. There we go. And so that's all we do for multiplying fractions. Okay, and so that really is all there is to multiplying fractions. Now, you can also, you can do this by a picture too. So let's take a hole. We'll just take like a square tile, like a floor tile. All right, and so let's look at what we're really doing here. When we do multiplication in math, we're really doing the word of. Okay, and so when I say 3/5 times 1/2, it's really like taking 3/5 of 1/2. Okay, so if we're taking something of 1/2, why don't we go ahead and divide this up into 1/2. So this right here, it's not perfect, but that's 1/2 vertically. All right, now horizontally, let's use a different color. Let's divide this tile into 5 strips horizontally. Okay, so now each of those strips represents 1/5. Okay, oops, I think I goofed. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's right, that's 5. Yeah, I saw that. All right, so let's take 3/5 now. And so 3/5 would be these bottom 3 rows, and then we could have done the top 3 too. But basically what we're doing here is where they intersect, how many boxes do I have? How many? Think of these as bricks now instead of tiles. Well, I've got 3, right? Out of how many total? Well, if you count them up, there's 5 in this column and 5 in the left column. So there's 5 here and 5 here, so that's a total of 10. And so that is a picture of why 3/5 times 1/2 is equal to 3/10. Okay. Now there's another trick that makes multiplication even easier. You might think, well, I don't know, that seemed pretty easy to start with. Suppose I'm multiplying fractions like 3/8 times 2/5. Well, I could just multiply the tops and get 6 and multiply the bottoms and get 40, right?
I thought this was
But
hard.
do you see anything that maybe cancels anywhere in the top and anywhere in the bottom, including diagonally? Okay, because there's this rule about canceling when we're multiplying fractions that anything in the top can cancel anything in the bottom. So what do you guys see? Do you
8
see?
and 2.
Yeah, 8 and 2 are both even, right?
Yeah,
So if I take a
thought
2
that was
out,
only if they were the same
this is
numbers.
1 and this is 4. No, it doesn't have to be. Same numbers would definitely cancel, but any common factors at all. Anything in the
okay.
top and anything in the bottom. Now when I multiply, 3 times 1 on the top is just 3.
Makes more sense.
Why do none of my 3's seem to be working today?
Stylus, probably.
Yeah, I think I need a new stylus. All right, so the top is 3, and 4 times 5 is 20, and now I get my fraction already in reduced form. Okay, now if I'd done it the other way, let's say I'd missed that reducing. Okay, 3 times 2 we said was 6, and 8 times 5 was 40. Okay, well 6 over 40, it's an even number over an even number, so if I took a 2 out, wouldn't it just reduce back to
Well, yeah.
3 over 20?
Mm-hmm.
So I just saved myself a step by canceling ahead of time.
Oh, yeah,
Now that's
because
going to be
you-
that's going to be really handy because it'll keep me from getting big multiplications and it'll keep me from having to reduce every time at the end of the problem.
Reduce your fractions.
Okay.
guys.
Now you have real world problems too. You can have something like take 3/4. Let me reduce this pen size a little bit. Let's say I had 3/4 of 20. Well, what did I just say about the word of? What does of mean in mathematics? It really means what?
Multiply.
Right, it means multiply. So we're going to change the word of into a time sign. We use the asterisk now because we use x usually as a variable. And what could I do to 20 to change it into a fraction? You can always make a whole number into a fraction by just putting it over 1, right? Now, does anything on the top and anything on the bottom cancel? How about the 4 and the 20?
Yeah.
And you could
3
take
and
a
1.
2 out, but the 3 and the 1 don't cancel.
Oh.
But what about 4 and 20? What goes into both 4 and 20?
5. Wait, no. 2. Yeah.
2 goes into both of them, and you get 2
thinking
and
20.
10, but they're still both even, so what else goes in? You had actually said 4.
2.
If I take 2 out again, now the 2 reduces to 1, and the 10 reduces to 5, which is actually the same
Yeah.
thing right here. I could have noticed, doesn't 4 go into both 4 and 20? Yeah, and I would have
Yeah.
reduced to 1 and 5. All right, does anything else reduce? Well, of course not, because what's on the bottom? 1 and 1.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
So I get 15 over 1. Man, stylus is really
Still
not
don't
working today.
understand the full
Which is
thing.
just equal to 15. So what is 3/4 of 20? Well, it's 15. And if you just think about that in money terms, suppose you have $20 and it's 4 $5 bills. What would 3/4 of $20 be? Well, think about it. It'd be 3 of the 4 $5 bills. It'd be 3 fives, right?
$15.
15. So it kind of makes
Buy a lot with
sense.
$15.
So whether we're doing word problems or we're just doing fraction multiplication, couple things I want you to remember from this lesson. The word of in mathematics always means multiplication. We can look for any canceling, and so what's the rule right here when we're canceling? Anything on the top can cancel with
Yeah.
anything on the bottom. And then, when I've done all my canceling, all I do is multiply the tops and multiply the bottoms. Now, if you miss a canceling, like if you'd gotten 6/40 right here, no big deal. Just reduce it at the end. So always double check your answers and make sure that they reduce. That's really it for multiplying fractions.
Really?
So welcome back, everyone. Tomorrow in class, we will practice this skill, and I want to thank my guests from helping out today. And so here's a picture of our guests today, and sure enough, we've got Bashir and Zach.
Back in my
And
head.
unfortunately, we couldn't get a picture of Zach that wasn't fuzzy because he wouldn't stand still.
You can buy that
But
with
then again, you all know
$15.
Zach, so you can understand why he couldn't stand still. So thanks for watching.
Buy like pizza.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in class tomorrow where we're going to practice multiplying fractions.